Fiancé's childhood sweetheart returns overseas. Proper suit driving, a Porsche boot, cruel words in public, at the entrance of the wedding company. Frankly speaking, he can only be his person. There are only 3 days left until our wedding. I slowly rapped. A peanut message to mother: tell someone at the wedding not to panic. Her daughter-in-law is hot-tempered and afraid of hurting others by mistake. The scorching sun in June baking the red carpet in front of the door. I crouched beside the 1,000 slow, knocking peanuts while counting the list of table cards for the wedding banquet. Check to the end. Found out that table 17 was missing a seat. Cardi thought to myself, Fit must be the second aunt at home, and secretly put the new square dance friends. It was arranged into the banquet list together. Just then the phone rang. Suddenly it was a call from my friend Joe Yan. Why? I answered the phone and asked softly, Brother, something big happened. Joe Yan's voice suddenly rose, full of Panasari is Bakai. Casually threw the peanut shells into the trash can next to me. Bland tone. Yeah, I see. Just asked. There was a ringing on the other end of the phone. Tenets like Joe Yan fell off the chair in a hurry. That was your fiancé's childhood sweetheart, White Moonlight, who grew up together. They made a special trip back from abroad. I still look indifferent. I know peanut taste good. Would you like to try it? I'm dying of anxiety. How can I have the heart to eat this? Joe Yan sighed again and again after calming down for a long time. He continued, he just sent moments. The location is near your wedding company. The caption says that some people born to belong to May munched on peanuts and commented lightly, this copy is too tacky. Where is the time for torn copy now? Joe Yan's voice has not yet fallen. There was a sudden burst of extreme excitement outside the door of the wedding company, a low-performance sports car that is recognizably a Northa. Sound of deliberately stepping on the accelerator and releasing it for fear that others will not know this is a very expensive car. I got up and patted the peanut crumbs off my trouser legs. Look, Upa silver gray Porsche Cayenne. It stopped firmly in the middle of the gate. The sun shines brightly on the sleek body of the car. I squinted my eyes slightly. The door slowly opened. First, a pair of exquisite handmade custom leather shoes fell to the ground, followed by neat and slim trousers. The last straight-fitting suit draw out his upright figure vividly. Lu Ginshin walked slowly and got off the bus. Every move is deliberately practiced, a learned gesture of grace. 5 years later, the once young boy has metamorphosed, 1.85 meters tall, with three-dimensional, exquisite facial features, the superior figure with wide shoulders and narrow waist supports a suit. The physical condition is really outstanding, just standing in the sun as eye-catching as the cover of a fashion magazine. Only the meticulous back of the tree, full amount of hairspray, looking very deliberately exaggerated. He took off his sunglasses. Eyes swept casually over the parked vehicles at the door. Cheap Wuling Hongguang electric tricycle for daily transportation. Finally, my eyes fell on my car, on a 6-year-old Honda Civic State. For a long time, there was no direct sarcasm in his eyes, but with a condescending pity, just by virtue of the carry. I'm already secretly sure that I'm winning. I ate the last peanut in my hand, looking towards him who is approaching. He's walking around in his shoes. The footsteps are steady and powerful, comes with an inexplicable sense of superiority. Top 3 paces in front of my footstep, she looked at me from top to bottom. I am wearing a washed, slightly pilling gray short sleeves. The trouser legs are stuck, and I just squatted and rubbed his mouth of the day pair of house slippers on my feet. So simple and casual, it makes the confidence in his heart more and more sufficient. You are goosey, you sigh. That's right. He calmly stretched out his hand and reported his home. I am Lu Jingchen's childhood sweetheart. Took the microphone. I know he mentioned it to me long ago. Lu Jenkins' expression moved. What did he tell you? He said that you left without saying goodbye and went overseas. Not even a goodbye was left. I tilt my head. Slight lie flat. Tone, tell the truth. Hand, he still doesn't like it. The calm smile on his face froze slightly. After a while, force yourself to be free and easy, young and ignorant. Some deep friendships will never be easily diluted by time. It really can't be diluted. I nod in agreement. After all, to this day, he still gets angry when he sees your name. This emotion is really hard to extinguish. Lu Jenkins' face instantly turned a little cold. Deliberately avoid this topic. He turned to look inside the wedding company. Everywhere festive arrangements and piles of candy. In 3 days insist on a big defeat with the elders in the family. I do think simply getting a marriage license is enough. Once again evoked a smile with Sheng Fuya. Few steps forward, woody cologne, smell rich, and somewhat choking him. Not going to beat around the bush with you, either. He was supposed to be mine. His eyes locked on Mitha. Tone is so sure. There was a momentary silence, aroundingly. The movement of the workers in the house, setting the tables and chairs, is left hand. The sound of car horns from the distant street. I looked at him, calmly, gently nodded. The road police said that they were full of evil. I couldn't believe my reaction. What do you mean? Literally. I turn around. You go underneath the counter, and you get a folding chair, right in the middle of the door. If you have the ability to take people away, go ahead and try. I sit leisurely. He crossed his legs and took out the peanuts in his pocket. Again, take your time, sit quietly and watch the change. At this moment, Lu Jinkin was completely confused. He has already come up with all kinds of confrontation rhetoric. And you're ready to fight me only? I didn't expect me to be so Buddhist. Indifferent attitude. What exactly are you going to do? He frowned. Puzzled. Nothing planned. And I looked up at him. You think you can save the review? Just do it. I will never stop. The final choice has always been in his hands. I open a peanut and chew it slowly. Freshman reminder. But I advise you prepare a strong concealer foundation in advance. In my house, he always does it neatly. Not easy. Lu Jinkin's face sank. Drilling. Shuangquan said nothing. Turn around and go straight into the Porsche. Close the door. Hard drive away. Angrily took out my phone and sent him a message. Tell him that his childhood sweetheart has returned home. Come to the door. The message has just been sent out. Received his reply almost instantly. The tone is full of indifference and alienation. What he does has nothing to do with me. What are you going to have for dinner tonight? I couldn't help but chuckle out loud. You can eat hot pot. Don't forget to buy enoki mushrooms. I forgot to buy it last time. I still remember it. I leaned back in my chair and looked out into the clear, vast sky. 2 points in my heart. Lu Jinkin will never understand. Once he identifies a person, we will spend our whole life together. His and sadistic personality, far stronger than he imagined us. For my mediocre scooter, it can never be measured. Sincere friendship. Who? Jinkin's action force faster than expected. Early the next morning, Zhou Yan sent a message in a hurry. Tell him to block the front desk of his company directly. He also specially prepared a large handful of huge roses accompanying candid photos. Lu Jinkin holds 99 top red roses in his hands, standing in the company lobby. Exceptionally eye-catching. Detract a group of young girls at the front desk, one after another. I'll zoom in and take a closer look. At a glance, you can recognize that this is an imported high-end variety rose, including packaging and shipping costs. This bouquet of flowers is over 4,000 years old. I laughed to myself. Well, it's kind of interesting to talk about. 3 years ago, I benefited from Zhou Yan's research, small and medium enterprise investment project, took a fancy to Lu Jingchan's father's meditation Jinhua group with tight capital chain, 20 million in the name of Ruacan Capital Pubic Investment, become the largest external investor in the other party, and the founder behind Ruacan Capital is Meal. External affairs are handled by Zhou Yan. No one outside knows my true identity. Lu Jinshan holds the working capital of his own company. Profligate actually costs the money I invested to pursue my fiancé's. Really interesting to close the loop like this. Not long after he called. The tone is flat. That fool is stuck downstairs in my company. I saw the bouquet. It looked very delicate too. Still have the heart to make jokes, or else could it be that I rushed over in slippers and started a big fight? A moment of silence on the other end of the phone. He said softly, I'll go down and deal with it myself. Don't hit too hardy. Told them not to worry. I am measured. Die. Think for a moment. If you really can't make up a game, don't waste it. The price is not low. Take a back. Bad reviews. It looks good too. Guci. You really have no shape. And he hung up in a huff. After 40 minutes, Zhou Yan sent a few surveillance screenshots. The scene in the lobby was clearly photographed. The roses in Lu Jinkin's hands are falling scattered all over the place, full of heat and dust. Zhou Yan also attached a live conversation. He simply said that you were late. It's not 5 years late, but you from the beginning should be in my life then. He turned around and left the whole bunch of roses at the front desk. Finally, it was separated by the front desk staff to take care of it. Zhou Yan repeatedly lamented that my mentality was too stable. The rival still comes to the door without any waves. Slowly say what's on my mind. In fact, as early as 2 years ago I established a relationship with him. Not long ago a drunken talk he has already told his heart accompanied by day and night when I was young. Others are calling the two are a match made in heaven. Over time he mistakenly thought that the dependence that gets along day and night it's love full of joy until Lu Jinkin left without saying goodbye and went overseas. Waited with obsession for a whole year, finally woke up, slowly let go of the past completely until you met me only. Then can we truly understand what heartbeat and deep love are. He once asked me seriously, what is the greatest difference between habit and deep love? Habit is after the person leaves seem just feeling down and sad and really like someone. If the other party insists on turning around and leaving, will follow at all costs. In the end, he was in my arms instead of carrying a few capsules. Dominarif, someone you truly love dares to leave easily. Then he broke the other party's legs with his own hands. Stay by your side after this meeting. Gim sure in my heart Lu Jinkin couldn't make any waves. It's not about how good I am, but once Shen Yu determines one thing, no matter how others persuade them, they can't shake it. At all the moment he made up his mind to marry me, Lu Jinkin has completely lost all opportunities. Let him drive a luxury car, send out more precious flowers. How dazzling the shape is. Image doesn't help. Asterisk, he was never faced with heartaches. Winging old lover, it's a wall of determination. Takahashi, who is also exceptionally short, but Lu Jinkin has never been able to see through this. 9 o'clock that night he got a text message from an unfamiliar number. The issuer is Lu Jing. Shanghai spoke with a sense of superiorities. Peek up and hit me. There are some things I can't keep. At Shen Yu was with me, but he is far away, abroad and unaccompanied, right? Now he has returned. Everything will change back to the way it used to be. Persuade me to keep backing down. I stared at this text message for a long time. The screenshot was forwarded to Shen Yu after a few seconds. He sent a message asking for the content. I will send the screenshot pretty soon. I only received a simple 2-word reply, emotionally straightforward and neat. I can't help but fail. Put your phone on your pillow and turn off the lights to rest. The moon is bright in the night sky. Lu Jinkin ultimately failed to understand. He thought he was saving his old relationship. In fact, it hit the iron plate abruptly. The wedding is 2 days away. Lu Jinkin changed his criminal thinking. He no longer took the initiative to entangle Shen Yu. Instead, he focused on Shen Yu's mother. To admit this move is really shrewd. Shen Yu's mother, Xiao Shufan, is 53 years old. He was a primary school teacher before retiring. I love to dance square dancing when I have nothing to do on weekdays. The most worrying thing on weekdays, it's a lifelong event for a daughter. In his eyes, my external conditions are fair. No marriage house, no bright eyes. Fake daily work is also very ordinary. Always feel that my daughter will inevitably suffer hardship if she follows. May always have regrets in my heart. And the appearance of Lu Jingchen just hit the bottom of his heart. Hoping for his daughter, the obsession of marrying better. While I was mopping the floor at home, my friend Zhou Yan sent me a message to inform me Lu Jinkin has come to visit. Not only carry expensive cigarettes and alcohol, he also carried the jewelry gift box favored by the elders. I can see that I have done my homework in advance. I recognized the brand of the jewelry at a This is Auntie Zhao's favorite style on weekdays. I stopped what I was doing, sitting on the couch, knowing Lu Jinkin knew that the positive could not move. Shen Wai planned to start from the elders to open up the relationship. Sure enough, half an hour later, Shen Yu called. His tone was helpless and angry. As so, he told me Lu Jinkin talked to his mother for a long time at home, bragging about their overseas study, experience of running a family business, and a rich peace of mind. I was moved by what my mother said. Then his mother began to persuade him. I think Lu Jinkin is outstanding in everything. Thinking of the friendship between the two young people, I hope he thinks twice about marriage. Shen Yu took a tough stance on the spot to show her position. If you speak bluntly, you will be persuaded in many places. He immediately went to the Civil Affairs Bureau to get a license to get married. It's not negotiable. This move made the mother feel wronged, crying that he was just thinking about his daughter. I personally soothed an emotional temple. I told him that Lu Jingchen did you bring expensive cigarettes or counterfeit goods. All of a sudden, it diluted a lot of his anger. I reassured him that he didn't have to wake up weak days. Aunt Xiao often talks about my ordinary conditions. I have already tacitly acknowledged my son-in-law in my heart. I used to work overtime late at night and come home late. Auntie still silently boiled the heartwarming sugar water and put it at the door. The mouth is picky, but the heart is full of thoughts. I definitely won't be deliberately embarrassed at the wedding. am homeopathic, bringing up the idea of taking her on vacation after marriage. It made her gradually calm down. Finalized dinner arrangements for sauerkraut fish that night. In fact, he doesn't know yet he had booked it as early as last month. Maldives with private swimming pool, sea view, holiday villa. I have already planned my travel plan after marriage. After hanging up, I called Zhou Yan, let him transfer Jinhua Group financial statements for the last 2 quarters. Zhou Yan instantly realized my intention. I'm ready to make a layout, a gun. I just perfunctory turn around and go into the kitchen to prepare the ingredients. Lu Jinkan goes to great lengths to win over the people around him, but forget about human relationships and emotional relationships. It has never been won by external materials. The wedding is a day and a half away. Lu Jinkan has a new mobilization. He's having a dinner at an upscale private restaurant in the city. Invited a group of Shen Yu's classmates and friends. Set a banquet in the name of gathering old friends. He also specially invited me and Shen Yu to the sin. Anyone with a good eye can see that this party wasn't meant to be alcoholic. Instead, I want to learn from my family by the eyes of everyone. Education, conversation, compare me in all aspects of clothing, highlight your strengths in public, belittle me secretly. Shen Yu was full of resistance after seeing the invitation. News blunt reluctance to go to the appointment. Instead, I persuaded him to join Usits. Also good to see the performance of the other party's hard work. Night Folly accompanied Shen Yu to the restaurant box on time. Lu Jinkan is in the main position about overseas business with people around you elegantly see us coming. Instead of calling me Mr. Ju, politely, deliberately distance themselves from each other. Distinguish his close relationship with Shen Yu in the past. Expensive dishes are served one after another on the table. The scene seems to be lively and harmonious, but there was an undercurrent. The meal. Lu Jinshan's friend mentioned luxury cars, intentionally or unintentionally. The writer asked about my transportation vehicle. Drive an old Civic. After many years, everyone showed strange expressions. It was very awkward just when Lu Jinkan was secretly proud. Prepare to pretend to smooth things out and ease the atmosphere. Shen Yu slowly put down the bowl and chopsticks in her handstand. Up calmly instantly attracted the attention of everyone in the audience. He calmly recounts the past in public. He confessed that Lu Jinkan left without saying goodbye and went overseas, so wait at the airport for hours. Even the dozens of messages sent out went to see the other party disappeared silently for 5 years. Now you're back, but by the friendship of the past put feelings as a bargaining chip that can be used to measure the comparison. Voice falsy even talked frankly about my tenderness in public's play. My old car, although it is inconspicuous, but it will warm up the carriage in advance in the cold winter, and I took it to heart. Minor company far more precious than flashy materai. Have the dishes in my hand. Listen to his words. To defend Memi heart is full of warmth. The house he rents is only 60 square meters, but the master bedroom in the south lane with the best lighting in the home, specially left for my lying down again all year round. Take a folding bed, pulp and rest. He's a great cook. I clearly remember my preference for not eating cilantro every time I get cold and sick at night. Even at night, I will go out to buy medicine. Shen Yu's eyes were slightly red. The tone of voice is not flustered at all. This genuine warm-hearted company, no matter how expensive a Porsche is, you can't get a penny. The audience fell into a dead silence. Xiaopeng lowered his head in shame. The girl, who couldn't help laughing just now, also quickly pick up the water glass to cover your expectation. Lu Jingchangjiang clutched the wine glass with both hands in place. Fingertips are white. Shen Yu picked up her carry-on bag, walk quickly to my side, softly signal to Levi, casually hit the abalone on the table, and haven't finished eating it yet. He insisted on leaving. I get up. I get up. I get up. Look up at Lu Jingshan, and there was shame on his face. Unwilling and embarrassed, but I know very well it wasn't enough to make him stop. He spent 5 years in a respectable foreign country. Self-esteem is more important than anything else. Shame in public tonight. He definitely won't give up. Will definitely wait for revenge. When walking to the parking lot, he noticed that Shen Yu's hands were cold. Still shaken, I reached out and took his hand. Calm him down. He confessed to speaking his heart in public for the first time. Nervous heartbeat is messed up. I can't help but praise that I was very calm and reliable. Just now I reached out and opened the passenger door for him. He got into the car without wearing his seatbelt, quietly leaning against the seat and looking at the bottom of the car. Silence for a long time. He suddenly asked, "Am I hiding a secret?" Early summer, the warm evening wind blows into the car through the window gap. He bluntly said that since Lu Jinkan returned to China to make trouble, he've always been to calm. Nothing like the purpose of an ordinary money start. The curled selfish desires make a dull sound tell him calmly, was determined from the beginning that the final outcome, because the person he always knew in his heart was Mishin. You stared at me quietly for a few seconds. Then he turned his head and looked forward to be blunt. I can always say things that make him unable to be angry. Step on the accelerator and drive slowly out of the parking lot. The lights of Taie Zhuan gradually disappeared in the rearview mirror. Du Jinkan stood alone at the entrance of the restaurant, hands in pocket size, locked tightly to the parking space. Where we left, there is no thought of admitting defeat in the Isa wedding is only 1 day away. Zhou Yan's call came on time. Inform me. Have sorted out the financial statements of Ginhua Group. I was brushing my teeth while he briefed me. Learned that the company lost 37 million last quarter. A number of core businesses continue to decline. Capital chain is already in jeopardy. Won't last long. At Ali also inquired about the operations status of the overseas branch. Learned that Lu Jinshan's overseas projects in charge have failed one after another. It almost collapsed. To keep the company running, his father even mortgaged the headquarters office building loan fund turnover. I instantly figured out all the reasons Lu Jinshan hurried back home. The pursuit of youth friendship is just one of the reasons. More important is to come back to save the family business from bankruptcy. Zhou Yan also knows Risen Capital in our name. It is the largest external investor in Group. As long as we choose to divest, the company will completely collapse. I told Zhou Yan to stay put. Just wait and see. Wait for the other party to take the initiative to reveal more flaws. Standing on the balcony and looking at the lively street view downstairs, I completely understood Lu Jinkan's thoughts. He couldn't let go of his obsession with Shenyu when he was young. In the one hand, it urgently needs to rely on external contacts and resources save the family business, the building materials industry, in the hands of Shenyun's father. Sufficient funds people all over the local business district. Tiff, you can become in-laws with the Shen family, solve 2 big emotional and business problems in one fell swoop. In the eyes of everyone, he wears a famous brand, driving a luxury car, but, in fact, luxury cars are rented. Exquisite clothing is just his last respectability. Just a desperate gambler. This truth, the Shen family also has former classmates and friends. All know nothing only. I can see through all his cards. Near noon the change came as scheduled. Shen Yu's father, Shen Jiangwo, called. The tone is full of anxiety. Established supplier who has cooperated for many years stopped taking orders for no reason. A long-term logistics team also find reasons to avoid cooperation. In just 1 day, problems with cooperation in 2 places in a row. A little prying knew it. Both partners are close to the Lu family. The exchange of interests is not difficult to guess. After Lu Jinkan hit a wall at Denorum, going to start putting pressure on the business side, attempting to destabilize the Shen family with commercial pressure. What people think, create a conflict between me and Shen Y, appeased Uncle Hao Shen and took care of this matter. Tell him to keep quiet, just wait for the result with peace of mind. Then I asked Zhou Yan to let out the wind externally, claiming that Ruishin Capital is beneficial. Get involved in the building materials supply chain industry. Just 2 hours. The partner who deliberately made things difficult before take the initiative to come to the door. All previous cooperation has returned to normal. I didn't really intervene, just by virtue of the influence of the capital industry. Just a little bit. That night, Shen Jiangwo called again that things worked out. He was astonished. The words also completely approved. Mian, the experimental wedding. No one will make things difficult for me at will. So far, Lu Jinkan has used commercial power. The pressure program has failed miserably and he only has 1 last card left in his handi. Have already guessed his next plan. He will definitely be at the wedding. Make 1 last fight in front of all relatives and friends. I that Shen Yu still has old feelings in her heart. Bet I'll panic in front of everyone, but he was all in the wrong direction from the start. 11:30. On the eve of the wedding, Ham, sitting in the living room, checking the full wedding process. The welcome ceremony banquet aspects such as toasting are confirmed one by one. Shen Yu wears a loose old t-shirt. Come out of the bedroom barefoot, sitting on the couch with my legs full. He saw through my mind at a glance. According to Lu Jinkan's competitive personality, will never be reconciled. The wedding scene will definitely come to disrupt. We grew up together. He knows the other person's temperament best, can't afford to lose and can't let go of obsession. I smiled and asked him if the other party really comes to make trouble, how to respond. A sharp edge flashed in Shen Yu's eyes. Speaking bluntly will definitely make the other party completely recognize the reality. In between small talk, we talk to each other. I told him seriously, no matter what happens at the wedding, I will protect him firmly. He doesn't have to wrong himself. All the problems are taken care of by me. After the small talk, I took out my mobile phone to contact Zhou Yan. Confirm that the Ruakan legal team is ready. Manhwa. Group's divestment documents and Equator-related agreements as soon as I give the order. It will take effect immediately. Told him to stay put for now, just wait. For the moment Zhou Yan also called to inquire about the communication on the wedding. Dai told him to keep a low profile, and be to flamboyanty. Put down my phone and turned off the living room light. The city is brightly lit. Outside the window, prosperous night view. All the dust settles, just waiting for the wedding tomorrow. Completely end all past entanglements. Tomorrow is my wedding with Shen Yulu Jinkin. If you really have the courage to Camille, save you a front row setlet. You see clearly that dust has long been settled. 7:30 a.m. On the wedding day, tie my tie carefully in front of the mirror. Black suit with a plain white shirt. Simple, yet solemn. Zhou Yan wanted to rent me an harmonic customized support Sinai. Declined, dressed too ostentatiously. It is easy to attract criticism. Shabby and afraid to make Shenyu unhappy, and Zhejiang chose a domestic brand with high texture. The price is affordable and decent. The tie just arrived halfway. Asterisk. The phone suddenly rings. It's Zhou Yan calling. Brother, he's here. Zhou Yan's voice carried a hint of nervousness. My hands didn't stop moving at all. Ask calmly where hotel parking lot. Tits the same Cayenne. But Zhou Yan paused. The tone became a little weird, but he changed into a white suit. I put on my tie. Gently pull the necklines, smiling in my heart, dressed in white at a traditional Chinese wedding. This was no accident. It's a naked declaration of war. The purpose of his visit was not at all to drink wedding wine. It's about robbing people in public. Where is he now? I continued to ask. Sitting in the car in the parking lot and not going upstairs. Looks like he's waiting for the wedding to start. Let him wait for me to say bro lightly. You don't stop. Let if he rushes up to stop him. I put the pocket towels in order. Confirm your image in the mirror. The protagonist of today's house is neither the king. No, not him. Who is that? Zhou Yan asked Shenyu in confusion. The phone went silent for 2 seconds. Zhou Yankai whispered, brother, are you really calm or pretending? Of course, it's true. Fine, I'll be standing by in the lobby. Hang up the phone. The greeting team departs on time at 8 o'clock. 6 black Audias are Shen Jianga Road from a friend in the business district. Not luxurious, but neat with a calm aura. Arrived at Shen Yu's house the moment Xiao Shufan stood at the door and saw Mitha. Circles of the eyes turned red in an instant. Tanti. He opened his mouth. It seems that there are thousands of words that want to be scolded, and I take the initiative to speak today. Is a big, didn't cry. He hesitates to speak finally. Just reached out and patted my arm lightly. It's not strong, but it took a long time to shoot. He didn't mention Lu Jinkin a word. No, Shen Zhengguo must have talked to him regarding the sudden default of the supplier, regarding Lu Jinkin's covert pressure on the Shen family's business, and that one phone call made all the problems resolved. Friend Xiao Shufan is not stupid. I was just blinded by appearances before now. I finally see the truth when Shen Yu came out of the bedroom dressed in a big red-sleeved kimono, wearing a delicate gold crown. A few strands of broken hair are exposed from the sideburns. Makes him more beautiful and dynamic. He never liked heavy makeup. Makeup artist today gave him a complete makeover. Slender upper eyebrows, positive red lips, a golden eyeliner at the end of the eye blend. His bright and yin energy perfectly. I stood at the door. I was stunned by his appearance and instantly lost my mind. It's not an exaggeration. I literally forgot to breathe. Brain goes blank. The air in my chest seemed to freeze in my throat. What are you looking at? Are you still going? He pursed his lips. Voice walks with a hint of tenderness. I kissed my sister-in-law. Took the motorcade slowly back to the hotel. 10:20. The wedding hall is already beaming. Red and gold are the main colors. There are flowers and happy candy on the table. The center of the stage is surrounded by red. Show me and Shen use names exceptionally. Eye-catching. More than 200 seats were taken. 80% to 90%. The guests arrived, one after another, to sign in. People came and went in front of the desk. Hilarious. My parents are sitting in the front row on the right. The old man wears that dress only for Chinese New Year. The dark blue Mao suit that I am willing to wear. Mother has a new haircut. Shufan clutched the handkerchief tightly in her hand. Red circles under the eyes. The MC is a young man who Shen Yu's colleague helped find very eloquent. Few humorous opening remarks after going on stage. Let the atmosphere of the scene come alive. 10:30. The wedding ceremony officially begins. Melodious music. I stand on the stage and wait. Quietly, the lights are a little harsh. The faces of the guests below the stage became blurred. I can only see a dark figure. Suddenly, the door of the banquet hall slowly opened. Shen Yu took Shen Zhengguo's arm step by step from the end of the red carpet. Everybody, get up. Focus on him, he can't go fast. Every step is steady and firms you. And Fu's skirt dragged on the ground. Draw a beautiful red arco too. The stage Shen Zhongwo released his hand and took a deep look at me. There is a promise in those eyes. Trust still has a trace of reluctance, and I nodded at him. He stepped aside. Shen Yu stood beside Mei, turned my head and whispered, "Are you nervous? Please try again." He looked at me. "Okay, don't ask." I smiled and said, "The master of ceremonies began to preside according to the process. Monitor both parents' speeches. My mom almost tripped on stage, made the audience laugh kindly. Then comes the ring exchange. My hands are shaking slightly. Shen Yu's hands are shaking more than mine. Just as we were about to exchange ring, Zhen, inappropriate voice. Suddenly, sound interrupted my life. Wait a minute. The audience quieted down in an instant. All eyes turned to the voice in the distance. Lu Jinkin was wearing a white suit. Walk straight from the door to the stage. Every step carries a desperate determination. Getting closer. Stop when you are only 2 steps away. Looking at Shen Yu with burning eyes. Him worthy of you. His voice, with a hint of choking. There was a sound of gasping air. The handkerchief in Xiao Shufan's hand was pulled into a ball by him. Shen Zhonghua's face instantly became iron clear. I sat in my chair and watched this scene calmly. Thought to myself that this line was really good. If it is a TV show, bullet comments are probably already swiped, but this is not a TV show, it's my wedding. And he said that, stick out your right hand, palms up, fingers slightly open. Make an inviting gesture to Shen Yu's voice was a little hoarse. There were tears in her eyes. I don't know if it's lighting effects or true feelings. Come with me, let's elope. These 4 words are like boulders thrown into a calm lake. It exploded in the hall in an instant. God, is he crazy? Is this robbing relatives? It's too much. One after another, and people stood up to watch. Someone covered his mouth and widened his eyes. Few young people in the corner even held out their hands. Camera starts. Shooting. Zhao Shufan grabbed Shen Zhongwo's arm tightly. The fingernails were almost embedded in his flesh. Sat in a chair and watched. Shen Yu's back, his shoulders are tatsu floats on the embroidered golden phoenix shining. In the light, he's got his head down. I couldn't see his face. Lu Jinkin's hand is still in the air. Time seemed to freeze for a long 10 seconds. The air became sticky. Every breath feels like a torment. Suddenly Shen Yu moved. He slowly raised his head. I didn't see. Lu Jinkin's outstretched handi looked him straight in the eye. There was no anger on his face, no sadness. Without the slightest hesitation, there is only one certainty that moves like it's like watching someone mathematics problems that have long been solved on. The other person is still thinking hard. Lu Jinkin opened his mouth, not loud, but it clearly spread throughout the hall. He'll say it again. The voice has not yet fallen. His right hand jerked up. It's incredibly fast. Lu Jinkin still had an expectant look on his face. The face has been slapped to one side. His crisp slap has, loud as a broken dry branch. Crisp and crisp resounded throughout the banquet hall. There was a dead silence, as if shaken by a bamal sounds. Our gun immediately after it. The sound of more than 200 people sucking in cold air at the same time. Marshal Chun's face turned to the right hold for a full 3 seconds, and his left cheek, a clear red handprint quickly emerged. The shape of the 5 fingers is obvious. At a glance his hands are still stiff in the air like a frozen frame. Shen Yu retracted her hand and hung it by her side lips. Light up and spit out a word. Roll not, a hysterical roar, not a gnashing growl. A bland word, but more lethal than any heated words. Like a cold dagger, accurately pierced the last line of defense of the land police. Lu Police Officer Chun's hand finally dropped. Weakly, he opened his mouth. Seems to want to say something. It's an explanation. It's a rebuttal. Still want to say it again. Come with me. But Shen Yu didn't give him any chance. He turned around. Face me. We meet. His eyes turned red, not because of sadness, it's because the slap just now used power palms are still shaking slightly. And I stood up, push the chair away, and walk up to him, pull his right hand and spread it out gently. His palms were red with the scorching temperature. I looked down. I blew softly in the palm of his hand. Does it hurt? I asked softly. Tears welled up in his eyes, but stubbornly did not fall. Only the nose is slightly red. It doesn't hurt to light. Really doesn't hurt. Then I'll hurt it for you. I wrapped his hand tightly in my own, warm him with body temperature. Then I slowly turned my head, looking at Lu Jinkin behind him. He will still be there. The left cheek is swollen. A button on a white blazer elapsed in the shock just now. Show the white shirt inside his eyes have faded. No longer the high-spirited look. Just now only one slap left. Shatter the blankness and emptiness of all fantasies. He thought Shen Yu would hesitate. Thought my affectionate confession can touch the softest corner of his heart. I think the 4 words, childhood sweetheart, are heavy enough to change his decision. He never expected, in exchange for only a loud slap and a cold roll wordn't. There was silence for about 5 seconds. Xiao Shufan's long-suppressed cry finally broke the silence. This is not a sad cry, it's a complete release of stress. He was crying with his handkerchief in his hand. Shen Zhengwo gently put his arm around his shoulder. The expression on his face was steady and determined. The discussion rang out against only. This time, the wind has changed completely. The person came to steal the marriage at the wedding, so shameless Shen, you played well. This kind of person should give him some color to see. Lu Jing heard these discussions. Hu Ji scrolled up and down. The redness and swelling on the face are particularly eye-catching. Under the light, but he didn't leave. Despite being slapped in public, though the eyes of the audience were full of ridicule and contempt, he's still standing there, like a sculpture whose soul has been emptied. He's still standing there. Clench your fists slowly. Raise your eyes. Keep your eyes on me. His voice was a bit hoarse. I can't tell if it's a hit or just hold on to the Oridu. You really think you've won? I kissed my hand beside Shen Yu. The palm of my hand always holds his hand calm and indifferent tone. There's no winning or losing. Naturally in your eyes. Lu Jinkin tugged at the corners of his mouth and showed a mocking smile. After all, you have nothing. I drive an ordinary scooter on weekdays. They live in tiny little cabins, living on Weibo's salary. Why do you give Shen Yu safe and secure for the rest of your life? Voice falls. The audience quieted down in an instant. Everyone watched the argument on the stage in silences. Emotions grew more and more agitated. The words are full of wings. You think too simply about marriage. All kinds of firewood, rice, oil, and salt need money to support. If Shen Yu follows you in the days to come, you can only plan carefully everywhere. I can't even afford a decent car. The Porsche you are proud of was born calmly and interrupted him directly. Lu Jinkin was stunned for a moment. What do you want to say? Your Cayenne, but it was 3 months ago. In Wanwicker Finance lease, and you have to pay rent of 12,000 a month. Remanded 50,000 deposit. The lease contract was signed at the end of December this year. Lu Jingchan will be in place in an instant. I can't tell. With my eyes wide opening, a word. Relying on a rental car to support the scene is not embarrassing. Hai took a slow step forward and continued, but with a borrowed, shiny appearance to belittle others who live a down-to-earth life. Fits not exactly clean. A few uncontrollable soft sounds sounded in the banquet hall. Lu Jinkin's face turned red and light. Extremely embarrassing. How did Nini know all this? I know more than you think. Kai let go of Shen Yu's hand-eye immersion in poetry. Jinhua Group lost 37 million in the last quarter. The company's existing cash flow it can only support 4 months of operation. Your father has already mortgaged the office building of the group headquarters, borrowing 20 million in bridge funds to maintain business, and you are solely responsible for the North American overseas projects. You manage 3 major collaborations. Signed. It has been yellow twice in a row. Every time I tell the truth. Lu Jinkin's face became more and more pale. You never come home from sex only after the family business was in a desperate situation. Just come back in a hurry to find a way out. These words fall. The entire wedding scene was silent and everybody here is holding their breath. Dare not make a sound. Lu police officer Chen's body couldn't stop shaking. Slightly not angry. Fire attack, but all disguises are punctured by the forbidden statement. Public embarrassment and panic. These trade insider secrets. You will never find his voice. Was intermittenty have lost the confidence of the pasties because Iganhua Group's largest external investorates, Ruican Capital. Lu Jinshan's eyes suddenly shook. I know that the external person in charge of Ruican Capital is Zhou Yan. What does this have to do with you? Just then, my cell phone is ringing. I pick up the phone and go straight to the speakerphone. Zhou Yan's voice clearly spread throughout the banquet hall. Documents related to the divestment of Gonging Hua Group. It's all done and stamped with the official seal. Just need to sign. Fax the documents over right away. Lu Jinkin froze in an instant. It's as if I lost all my energy in an instant. He muttered to himself that Zhou Yan had always called you brother. Everyone outside only knows Zhou Yan is the external liaison of Ruican Capital. I put away my phone and said lightly, but no one knows this powerful capital company. The true founder. It's always been me. After 5 seconds of silence, the whole wedding scene is completely boiling. The audience was filled with exclamations of disbelief. Yang jerked up from his seat in shock. Xiao Shufan also stopped crying in an instant, stunned in place. Parents sitting in the front row also started talking in low voices. I feel that I have always been low-key and introverted, never willing to reveal their strength. Lu Jing said her legs were also soft, almost fell directly to the ground. He hurriedly reached out and held the corner of the banquet table beside him, fingertips scrape across the tablecloth. The last trace of blood had completely faded from his face. A white suit, while his face did not rise in a wedding scene full of festive red decorations, looks out of place. He keeps opening and closing his mouth. I can't accept this cruel reality. Once upon a time he was full of prides, self-confessed to being born of superior strength, thinking about the wedding condescending to suppress. Now I suddenly wake up, I am an inconspicuous little person. The opponent is himself. All that is unattainable, all the arrogance, obsessed with confidence. It all collapsed at this moment. He hung his head, leaning limply at the table. Can't say a word to refute Chen. You never looked at him to look at the wrong, evil master of ceremonies. Signal to continue the wedding ceremony. The MC came back to his senses, quickly calmed down, and continued to preside over the process. I haven't waited for the master of ceremonies to complete the oath. I will take the lead in answering. English maid. The guests laugh out loud. The tense and oppressive atmosphere dissipated in an instant. Time to ask Shen Yu, he replied without hesitation. The laughter on the scene came one after another. The warm and lively atmosphere once again enveloped the audience. Xiao Shufan wiped the tears from the corners of her eyes, smiling. Shen Jiangwo also couldn't hide his moved heart. Poetry crept into my eyes. The cheerful and melodious music of the full moon slowly sounded, completely dispelled all the embarrassment and turmoil. Just now, to hotel security personnel walked up quickly, softly remind the land police to leave the scene at this moment. He is long gone. He originally came high spirits when robbing relatives, silently support the table and slowly get up. Feet our feeble walk towards the door of the banquet hall, step by step. When you get to the gate, he stops, clenched the doorframe tightly. After a long hesitation, after all, he slowly let go of his hand. The curtain disappeared outside the door. The storm is completely over. Shen, you held my hand tightly. The eyes are full of gentle affect. How long are you going to lie to me? Just told me you are the founder of Ruicon Capital. This thing, I haven't been able to find the right opportunity to speak. That's actually just right now. I haven't had time to answer. He gently raised his foot and stepped on the tip of my shoe, said with a little tenderness, when you get home, you will be punished for kneeling on the washboard. This funny quote. Once again, the audience burst into laughter. The follow-up wedding process was successfully completed. During a toast, a group of relatives and friends came forward to chat with me, take a look at the past, compliment me again and again. In the past, I secretly felt that my family, ordinary relatives and friends, have also changed their words, praised me for being calm and capable. My mother-in-law, Xiao Shufan, held my hand tightly, full of guilt. He confessed that in the past he was narrow-minded and saw the wrong person. Full of remorse, failed to know my true situation. Early I smiled and comforted him softly. There is no need to deliberately publicize money and fame. The wedding ended successfully. The guests left one after another in the huge banquet hall. Only scattered tables and chairs and happy candy sundries remain. Shen Yu and I took off our cumbersome and heavy wedding dresses, side by side on the steps, and taking a break, he casually took off the delicate phoenix crown on his head. The long black hair is scattered at will. The dignified atmosphere of the wedding has faded away. Little more casual and lazy. You have been working hard for so many years. Why do you still insist on driving the old-fashioned Civic Travel? I just think the car is practical and fuel-efficient. Daily arrests are enough. Took out a clean handkerchief, wipe his neck, carefully sweat from the heat. He looked at me quietly for a long time. I thought there would be some dissatisfaction in my heart. Finally, just reaching out, and she flicked my forehead. You are too good at hiding your heart. I have never deliberately hidden anything. You just never asked. Could it be that you and I spend time together and have thought of relying on my self-strong family background? I just want you to like the purest version of May, like that, thoughtful and considerate on weekdays. Full of your words, instead of me with the halo of founder of capital. These sincere words instantly warmed Shen Yu's heart. He rested his head on my shoulder in silence, quiet, snuggling. No more words. The night is long. The whole sky sunset, afterglowed. The floor to ceiling windows into warm characters. Two figures that are tightly attached to each other are quiet and stable. Just then the mobile phone received a message from Zhou Yan. Inform me that the withdrawal documents have been officially issued. Jinhua Group is in complete chaos. The land police officer, Chen's father, made countless calls in succession. They want to negotiate. All rejected one by one. Evan, the luxury car leased by the land police. It was also taken back by the car dealership in the end. He had to take a taxi, and Levi simply browsed the messages. Put the phone upside down. Stop asking about the distractions of the outside world. Lu Jingchanabst with dividing the winning and losing in the relationship, but got it wrong from the start. Love has never been a competition between rich and poor. Familius acquaintance, time but hidden away day after day, bit by bit of true preference. 2 weeks later, I took Shenyu to Sonya Start, a comfortable and leisurely honeymoon in a clear and clean private beach, flipping through casual magazines, seemed doing it over and over again. Apply sunscreen and skincare products. After a few tosses she finally complained about my actions. Laughter lingers by the sea. The refreshing sea breeze carries a faint breath of sea salt with the sweet coconut scent on him. Cozy and comfortable. Not long after, Zhou Yan sent a message, again informed Jinhua Group that it has been officially submitted. Bankrupt reorganization application. Land police. Chun-hee he was also completely eliminated from the inner circle by the family. Now I can only run around looking for a job to make ends meet. I calmly read the news and put it down. Completely ignoration. You casually talks about wanting to eat fresh coconuts, then forget to play coquettish with me. Finally got up obediently towards the store on the street. Him face the sunset, the bright back that moves slowly. My heart is filled with stability and warmth. Those so-called white moonlight obsessions in the past, childhood sweethearts, have long since dissipated. With the wind no longer exists, more flashy passersby in the world can't compare to the sweetheart who is full of heart to man. I'm always standing still, waiting for him to come and hear it all.